fucking life.
Welding?
Yeah, oh fuck yeah. It's the exact same shit, because like with welding, like it's the same thing. Like
You're pulling lines.
There you go.
That and your eyesight, no?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my eyesight's fucked.
Did you see that one fucking video of this old dude, and they're like old dudes are built different, and he was fucking welding, and there was just that fucking spray, that fireworks shit.
Yeah, the sparks.
Right at his face, on his face, coming off of his face.
Well, if you've seen Magic Mike, then you know that Channing Tatum can also do that as well, too, shirtless, and it's totally
It's a good scene. It's a good scene.
I was going to say, you're definitely familiar with that.
I took my grandma to see that.
Oh my God.
You would fucking say that.
I took my grandma to see number 1 and number 2. And then she died, so my mom and I went to number 3 together.
That took a fucking turn.
That was...
Well, it's okay. She saw Magic Mike fucking doing hot shit before she died. R.I.P. What's your grandma's name?
Nora.
Oh.
I remember there was this like Reddit post where they had, it was like the most like fucked up jobs you've ever had in your life, and it was like a full thread about it, and it was like this guy talking about working at a movie theater, and he was like, yeah, like the fucking, this is like the worst job experience I've ever had, but like specifically the thing that did it for me was having to sit through and cleaning up the theaters after Magic Mike. And it was like I would go through and you would find like cucumbers, the fucking the seats would be like soaked all the fucking way through.
You're lying.
I'll find it. It's on Reddit somewhere.
Please send that to me. Yeah. Sorry. Fucking wet cucumbers and shit was wet?
Yeah, so like the seats were wet, and then like there was like cucumbers under the seat, and there was like vibrators all over the place.
Why would you leave your vibrator?
Why would you leave your vibrator? What is wrong with these dumb bitches? Bring it with you.
Unless they have like a vending machine, like outside that are like just like one-use disposable.
There are one-use ones.
They're
you know
like
what's
they're like
fucked?
the 3D glasses, but you just go and like, stick it out of the thing.
You just throw in the bin after.
It's probably the smartest shit I've ever heard.
Be a
Male
good
strip
idea.
club ideas. You know how many chicks would probably just be like, I wouldn't.
Use.
There are one-use ones.
And then whoever comes and cleans them all up, sanitize them, use them again, package them.
Those literally exist.
Autoclave
you
them?
clean, you come again.
Autoclave.
There literally exist. They're called one-night stands.
You're lying.
No, that exists.
I think we might
But
be
you
on
can
it.
sanitize them.
Oh, no, these ones you can't. You use it once and you throw it out.
But what?
Yeah.
What? Wow.
It's like a
that landfill. Fuck.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, on that note, talking about what's poppin', everybody? It's Amanda from Elements of Ink, and we have First the disaster, and then we have a very popular guest that I'm super excited to have on. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Andrew Wilson from Newmarket.
Okay,
Tattooer.
from Newmarket. Yeah.
What do you want me to, what else do I say?
Your handle, if you can.
Andrew Wilson Art.
Andrew Wilson Art. And what is the shop that you work at?
It's just my own private studio.
It's a private studio. You were talking about this earlier, which is really cool because I feel like there's two different worlds of tattooing. There's private studio, or there's like not private.
Yeah.
Public studio.
I just call it like my space or my office. I don't really want to call it like a shop. You know what I mean? Or anything like that.
No?
I just
Did you not enjoy working in a shop?
Space. No, I do. I did.
Okay, yeah.
I did. I just, I don't know. I had this opportunity come up, and then I just kind of wanted my own space. But I still have guest artists come through. But when I have my own, like, when I'm not at a shop, I feel like I can just get a lot more done. It's less distracting.
Yeah. You can have more control in your own environment too.
Can decorate it however I want, make my own mess. Don't have to clean up after anybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's fair. Play your own music. Do you like have TV playing, or are you more of a music guy?
I have no TV.
Music?
Music.
Just music. What kind of music?
All kinds.
All kinds.
Except for country.
Oh!
Sorry.
You don't like country at all?
No, it's not that I don't. It's just that.
Not the vibe?
Not my vibe. Yeah.
No. You're like, only sometimes.
Can't relate.
Unless my client says, I love country and I love getting tattooed to country, which has never happened before.
What? I feel like people.
Then I'd maybe put it on.
I feel like people who listen to country know that they should be ashamed. And I like country. But
No.
I listen to country all the time. But I'm also aware that a lot of people, most people I've ever talked to are like, I listen to everything except for country.
2 words.
Yeah.
What?
A lot of
Morgan Wallen.
What's that? Who's that? Sorry,
It's huge country singer.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like pop country though. It's like
It's
really
okay.
easy.
He's hot. So.
You know how old
Is
I
he?
am, right?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah. But
that's
have you
fair.
not seen all the memes online? Like everybody who doesn't even listen to country still listening to his song last night.
What's a meme?
Stop. You're not that old. That's around the corner. Oh God. Where did you start tattooing? How long have you been tattooing?
I've been tattooing 13 years, about
13 years?
Yep. I started tattooing in Toronto. I did an apprenticeship. I won't say the shop.
Yeah,
because
that's okay.
it's
It's common. That's
fucking
very
horrible.
common.
I won't
Most
say
people's
mine.
stories are like, anyways, the first one, I'm just gonna skip over that.
Found the apprenticeship on Kijiji.
I
I don't even know
years ago, that makes
why
sense.
I was looking on Kijiji in the first place. Maybe I was looking for something else, like
Better than
we
Craigslist.
were talking about.
Selling undies or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I was looking
Don't
for,
look at me.
I was looking for
Don't
used
look at me.
underwear on Kijiji, and then I came across an apprenticeship.
No way.
But yeah, I went there and like it was like a paid one, and I was like, I want to get into the industry.
It was a paid apprenticeship.
Like you had to pay.
Yeah, like I had to pay.
Yeah.
Okay, how much?
I don't remember. I think it was like $500 for like a couple of weeks to like start and like get like some, I don't know, use whatever supplies and shit.
$5
but
grand.
You paid $5,000?
Yeah, free.
And still had to buy all your own supplies if I made it that far. I didn't. Yeah.
But you still paid.
Yeah, they don't refund you.
And
Did you
how
pay
long?
all up at front, like up
Yep.
front, $5,000?
My parents did. Shout out Debbie.
Did you pay them
Shout
back?
out, Debbie.
No.
Oh boy.
Debbie never asked. Don't bring that up. Like, what?
Cut it. Cut
Yeah.
it. Cut it out. Cut that out. My bad.
That is expensive. I was asked when I had firstly, originally it showed up. It was like, do you have $3,000? I said no. Then he just stopped me one time when I was walking by his shop later on when he needed someone, and I got it free. But he had said $3,000. This was 10 or 9 years ago, and but you paid $500 on Kijiji. Ended up landing a spot. How long were you there?
I was there for like a year and a bit,
Yeah.
but I was like the only white guy there. The
Yeah?
rest of them were all Chinese. Like this was like
yeah?
this was like Spadina and college, like Chinatown.
Oh, is that okay?
Did not understand anything they were talking
Shut
about.
up.
Most of, they're like a clique, right? They would just like all talk to each other, and then you're just sitting
Interesting.
there like, okay, like what? do I do?
Interesting.
And he's like, just watch me. And I'm like, okay, how do I put this machine together? Like have the clip
Coil.
cord, like where the tube goes and shit. I'm like, is this right? Like what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
I mean, he's like,
No, it's
figure it out.
confusing. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. But before I actually started tattooing skin, there was like a butcher shop across the street.
Oh,
So
yep.
they would make us go across, grab a fucking bag of pig skin.
Yep. Yep.
Slimy, greasy fucking pig skin.
Yeah.
For
Is it
$1.
greasy?
It's disgusting.
That used to be really common
Slap
though.
it down and just tattoo
Skin, how thick is the skin?
it. It's like that thick.
Doesn't
It's
it
like the
have-
skin plus like some of the fat and
Yeah.
stuff.
Because doesn't it have like track marks and stuff through it and
Yeah,
shit?
you like the hair still in it and shit. Like
Yeah.
it smells
shave it?
so bad.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, it smells like a dead pig.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Dead end. It smells like a dead animal.
Yeah.
Because if you
I
smell like a
guess.
dead rodent or
Like
something like
Dead
that,
flesh.
It's not like that.
Wretched.
It's not that bad, but
Okay.
it's, you're tattooing it for like a couple hours and it starts to like dry out. Like the corners start to dry out and stuff. Like it's really gross.
I
really
can't believe you
gross.
did that. I haven't actually met a lot of people who've
I
tattooed
didn't.
pigskin. Did you make your own needles?
Nope.
No. Okay, disposables.
No, we were grabbing from that, what's that sketchy place down
Studio One.
Cam Supply.
Oh.
Whatever. Yeah, Studio One.
Studio
They
One.
sold like off Young Street or whatever.
Well, I don't fucking know.
Close to. I don't know. Yeah, Studio One, Cam Supply, that stuff.
Okay, so you just missed that mark too.
What?
Making your own needles. I feel like
Yeah.
I've been tattooing for
Yeah,
9
no.
years, 13 years.
I haven't made my own needles.
Thank God. People I talked to that had to do it, I'm like, for one mediocre tattoo.
Yeah, you got to come in like 6
Okay.
hours early before your tattoo to make your own needles and shit, and like
I'm a fetus, so I don't know much about the making
How
my
long
own
you been
needles
tattooing?
thing.
5 years?
5.5, almost
5.5.
6.
since cartridges came out.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
My mentor made me sell my coils because she said they were relevant to the industry and made me get rotaries. Yeah.
So did you? I shouldn't be doing the interview here, but
No, you're
how
fine.
long did you use coils for?
I didn't.
At all?
Not until I used only rotaries until I got a Dan Cuban,
Okay,
which is a hybrid, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
and that changed my world.
those are good machines.
And then when I broke it because after COVID I forgot the speed you're supposed to run it at, so I broke the spring on it. And then I was using somebody's coil for a bit, and that was the first time I used one, and that was 2 years ago. So
Coils are weird. I found the weird part about coils are like, the weight. Because like the metal tubes, at least I use metal tubes because I found the weight.
I use metal tubes too when I was doing my apprenticeship.
I like the metal tubes more than the plastic because the weight balance was nicer.
Yeah, I do too.
Heavier, because otherwise it pulled your hand back because the weight of the machine was back here. So it was like, and mine got really hot and would always burn me if you tattooed for too long.
Yeah.
And they were finicky. So you have to know how to tune it or adjust it or replace parts. And after a while when it started to fall apart, I didn't have somebody that, well, I could have asked, but I was like, I don't want to. I don't want to.
The one that was burning your hand when you tattooed the crackhead?
Yes, it was handmade. Yeah, yes, yeah. Yeah, or just and most tattoos at that point. And I was like, oh, this is too much. But do you do a lot of conventions?
I did. 2017, 18, 19. I was doing pretty much all of them, like every year. With,
in Canada?
Yeah, just Canada
Yeah.
with Mike Kenny. You guys know Mike Kenny.
Yeah.
So we would do all the conventions together.
How did you end up getting there? Did you left that shop because why? Because it just wasn't
Just
the
it was
greatest
like
environment?
it was just like I wasn't really learning much. You know what I mean? Like there was a shop like in Newmarket called Stinger Tattoo, which is like the shop to be at that time.
Yeah.
And I got tattooed there like when I was 18 and stuff. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to try to get a job there. And luckily, I had a couple of people that I knew vouch for me, so I got the job there.
That'd be
And
exciting. That'd be a cool movement.
That kind of like really helped me out.
No doubt.
Yeah. So then I actually learned stuff there.
There's always that one shop that you get into. I don't know, maybe it's different for you, but like that you get into that like, especially if you've been to a lot of shops, that starts to really excel or make you busier at least.
Right.
Like maybe not say excel as an artist, but at least you're like, oh, things are a little bit more like less patchy.
Yeah.
And that was the shop for you?
Yeah.
So two shops.
So yeah, 2 shops, and then I left there because I wanted to work at Sink or Swim in Aurora with like Chris Hearn and Jeremy. I don't know who else was there at the time, but Chris said no to me. So I was like, okay, well, I guess like I have no choice. Like everyone was leaving Stinger, and I'm like, I don't want to be there by myself because it just kind of like went to shit. So I ended up opening like my own studio with somebody else. Didn't know what I was doing, but I had nowhere else to go at that point, so I did. And then 6 months later, Chris calls me. He's like, "You want to come work at my shop?" And I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me? I just spent all this money opening my own place, but yeah, I'm coming over." So
Yeah,
I
so
did.
you closed it.
No, so I left my business partner. So she stayed there, hired a couple people, and I went to Sink or Swim, and that kind of furthered my career as well.
But you're enjoying having that because you've cut your whole team in half, essentially, or less. Like you have just you and that one guy.
I'm just me by myself.
Oh, it's just you.
Peter's a
and the private studio.
YouTuber. He's a photographer. He's not even in the tattoo industry. But I've been tattooing him for a while, and we've been really good friends. And we just have our offices like separate, but in the same hallway. Like we're not in the same room, but we have 2 offices side by side.
I've heard of him.
Yeah. He knows,
From YouTube?
He knows everybody.
From the podcast I listen to.
Oh, no way. So
Yeah. Yesterday, I was listening to the podcast that I listened to, and one of the guys on it was like, "Oh yeah, so I just booked a sleeve with this guy. He's a very highly sought out artist. His name's Andrew Wilson,
Who said that?
Mocha on Bras and
Oh,
Mocha."
yeah. He's coming in like next week.
yeah. Yeah.
small world.
Yeah,
That
I
was
listening
weird.
to it,
We
and
were
I
like,
looked
oh my
up,
God.
I'm like,
You
what
guys
the
are
fuck?
friends with him too?
No,
No, I don't know him.
listen
I'm
to
just
the
I
podcast.
listen to it when I tattoo.
He
every
comes
day.
into the coffee shop all the time.
Yeah, I listen to it every day when I
in the
tattoo.
front.
Yeah. So like my mom owns a coffee shop underneath in the bottom part of the building, and she wanted to expand her coffee shop to upstairs to have a street level entrance. It's just like a to-go place.
Yeah.
And she's
So your
like,
mom owns a coffee shop?
yeah.
That's
So we're all
adorable
in the
for some
same building.
reason.
We're all in the same building now.
So you get along with your mom.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
That's the cutest thing I've ever heard.
So we all went in and bought the building.
Also, how convenient would it be just to have a coffee
I
shop?
walk out
Just-
the door and I'm just like, I just go get my coffee 4 times a day.
Oh
I don't have
my
to pay anything
God.
for it either.
Yeah.
What?
None of my clients have
4
to pay for
times a
coffee.
day.
Drink 4 coffees a day?
Yeah.
I only
drink a lot of coffee.
I only just started doing caffeine.
Do you have ADHD?
I don't know. Somebody told me I did.
As you've been moving this whole time, and you're like, I drink 4 coffees a day. It's not a problem.
I
Potentially.
had a coffee on the way down. Probably shouldn't have.
Oh my God. At like 6 p.m.
That's probably why I'm sweating.
Yeah. I had half. No, it's hot in here. I had half
is
of
hot.
one today, and I was like, "Woo."
Yeah, you're a little puss. Okay, so do you what? Sorry, what? What? Sorry, I tried to look away. Whatever. Do you remember your first tattoo that you ever did?
I don't think so. Well, I don't know. Let me think.
On a person,
Let me
not
think.
pigskin.
Okay. I think it was a piece by, he did like album artwork for Every Time I Die. Do you remember that?
No.
That artist? No.
I listen to country.
Is it
It was
metal?
like a weird little deer. Like it was a weird deer with like a lot of eyes and like weird little antlers.
That's dope.
probably like a crazy tattoo for me to do for my first one. And I just remember it because it was on a buddy of mine. I'm like, whatever, I'm not gonna be nervous. I'm like, here
Yep.
we go.
Nerves.
Oh
Yeah.
fuck! I'm like,
It's
okay,
nerve-wracking.
hold on. Yeah.
Yeah. All of
Start
a sudden,
sweating
that
all over the
pigskin, you
place.
like
Yeah,
rest your hand and you feel more concrete because
it's
it's on
scary.
pig. It's
Like,
terrifying.
I don't
You don't feel the depth.
miss that feeling
No.
at all.
Of
Like
new.
just like somebody coming in the door and you're like, fuck, you're like setting up and you're just like, I don't know what I'm doing right now. Just like spilling shit,
So insecure.
trying to get your glove on, your hands like all sweaty and it rips and you're like, I'm sorry, just go
No,
in
I'm
the
fine.
front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go in the front. It's very nerve wracking and it's very intimidating, and you have to like almost do this weird thing with clients when you feel insecure. You can't let on that you feel insecure because that's going to be a bad experience for them.
Oh yeah.
So you have to fake it till you make it.
Yep.
In a way.
Like if you pull a line wrong or something, or you do something a little, and then you get that like hot rush, and you're like, well, it's fine. They won't know. They won't notice. I can.
And then
fix
you
that.
leave that
Yeah.
you leave that little mess there.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
when
Of
they
ink.
can't look down, and you purposely like over Vaseline it or something.
Yeah, and it's
I've
glistening.
definitely done that before.
Oh, honey, that's the first
I
half
think I
of
did
our
that
career.
yesterday. No, I'm just kidding. Cut that out.
No,
It's not
Cut
true.
it. Did you?
No.
Sometimes though.
No, I didn't do anything that would have been that crazy line work yesterday, I don't think.
True.
it happens.
No, I was just
though.
blacking someone's arm out, so there's no way that would.
What is that like?
I don't know. I look out the window and I'm just like,
What do you
we
run?
just have
What do you run
conversations.
your
We
machine
like
at?
make eye contact.
We make eye contact. What do you run your machine at when you're blacking something out? And what do you use?
Usually a little slower, to be honest, because you get more like
Yeah.
impact. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I have a Cheyenne Soul Nova Unlimited,
Yep.
the 5.0.
Oh, 5. Okay.
It's
as
really
shit.
good. Yeah, it's really good for
Big
that.
ass stroke.
Yeah, I don't even hang my needles out that much, but
No?
I find like more stretching in the skin, the more bounce you get, just the quicker it's gonna grab,
Yep.
and the more
The
saturated
more
it's gonna
resistance
get,
you feel against
and
your
the faster
hand
it's gonna
almost.
heal because there's a lot less skin trauma, especially
Yeah.
when you use bug pin needles for that.
Bug
Like I
pin
know
needles
a
for
lot of people use
packing?
like blunt, like short tapered needles for packing stuff, but I find using the bug pin needles, like people just it's like
Goes in
it
buttery.
flakes. It flakes
Oh,
off
it
when
flakes.
instead of like chunky scabs. So I find that works pretty well.
So your first one was that weird, crazy one. Okay, so like I find Cursed has a lot of tattoo friends. I tattooed in like weird sketchy shop in Ottawa. Then I tattooed out of my house, and then I tattooed in Lindsay, super small town. And then I tattooed in Peterborough, and then I started coming out this way. And it's more populated with tattoo artists as well as with people and clients. So when I came over here, my life started to change as a whole career. But I don't have as many tattoo artist friends. I find Curse, for example, you're born and raised out here. Yeah. You've been tattooing for less time, but you know of and have like met with a lot more artists and have a lot of tattoo friends. Even like Brandon and a couple other people, maybe because Motor City is like really big, have a lot of tattoo friends. I don't hang out with a lot of tattoo artists other than the ones that I work with currently. But do you have a lot of tattoo friends because you bounce around, or do you?
Well, I mean, yeah, like I've done a lot of guest spots, a lot of conventions, and like I know a lot of tattoo artists, but like I
Yeah.
wouldn't say necessarily like close friends. Like whenever we're at conventions, we'll hang out, we'll go out, and it's like, you know, it's like it hasn't been like a year since I've seen you. It's just like it's really easy to
Yeah.
talk to them, but I do have like a good core group of tattoo friends that I see all the time, like the guys at Main Street, literally down the street from my building. So I go down there and hang all the time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you do have a little community of tattoo artists.
Yeah,
that
and
you
like
see
I
frequently.
keep in touch with people on Instagram and stuff all the time.
Yeah.
I find that's kind of important. But yeah, I wouldn't say like friends, but
Yeah.
I know a lot of tattoo
I
artists.
wouldn't say I'm that close with like a lot of them. I think what it is I've made a lot of connections from paying to get tattooed by them.
That too.
Like, because I
fair.
didn't have good mentorship, right? So to learn, I had to pay for knowledge.
Yeah.
So it kind of is what it is, right?
It does help.
That is a
there-
good idea. Like it's a good
that's
way to.
That's
yeah.
why I'm as covered as I am. It's not because I intended on it. It just kind of fucking happened that way.
Did you learn a lot from doing that? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. It changed a lot of like the way that I tattooed. I found I was doing a lot of things. Well, like it's just asking questions and knowing what you want to ask, right? So like even like Matthias, the half decent, like when you sat down with him and like he's tattooed.
Oh, I
me.
thought you were saying he was half decent.
No, his Instagram's the half. No, his Instagram's the half decent. Yeah. He's great for teaching. Like I sat down, and you can ask him one question. He's an open book. He'll tell you everything. And yeah, like he did my whole armpit, couple other ones.
Yeah.
I talk to him pretty frequently as well.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's a really nice guy.
That's fascinating. Yeah. It's so much more of like a community out like towards Toronto and everything.
Yeah.
I should just go get tattooed more, maybe.
Yeah, you should, because you haven't got tattooed by that many different people, and that's harder. That's
blank.
Yeah, so then making connections. Like Travis?
Yeah, well, then I started, like that's how I got the job, is I started getting tattooed. I got like this bio. I seen one of my coworkers and my friend, Jamie, Booty Funk 911, or Booty Funk Official. He, I was tattooing with him at 13, and he had some really cool bio shit, and I was like, that's the fucking coolest shit I've ever seen. And then he showed me Travis's, and I was like, oh, this shit's awesome. And I've never seen, at that time I came from like kind of ghetto shops, so I hadn't seen, and Instagram was just kind of like relatively new, so I hadn't seen a whole lot of really good artists. And then I had seen his, and I was like, oh, this is fascinating. Who is this? And then so I started getting tattooed by him a little while later. And then after like 2 sessions, I think a session on my stomach. So I had 2 sessions, and then my stomach, he offered me a job. But then when you know one person who's around all the time, you're just like, you just get them because they're good and you like their shit, and that's what you're like, I'll just get that shit all the time. So I haven't went out because I'm like, I got black and gray realism right here.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you still have lots of space left.
Oh, you know so much. Yeah. I have like my other side of my ribs, my back, my legs. Well, not a whole lot of my legs, but yeah, my other arm. I don't know.
I'm in the laser process right now. Oof.
Yeah,
no,
black
you're
it out,
losing
man.
space.
No, I want my back.
Black it out.
I want to do it. No, because I want to do a back
actually
face.
into black. Every time at the tattoo convention this past weekend, every time we walk around with someone who does some black work, Jay was like, let's go look at that. Eh? Mm-hmm. Trying to get some. Okay, so this is, what's that? That long stroke. Yeah, 5.5. I've never heard someone that has used that, like a 5.5. I want to go to like a 2.5 because I'm doing black and gray.
Oh yeah, I told you can use my X.
I was thinking about that today. I was like, oh, I want to try that. Especially because you were on another podcast, the radio.
Yeah,
and you have lots of followers. I was wondering, obviously you have a lot of friends, or like a lot of fans. You have a lot of people that follow you. You're quite popular. And so you have probably people that might fangirl you. I'm sure at conventions you've had a few people be like, oh my God, it's so exciting to meet you. Do you have, no? Does that not happen?
I don't think so. It doesn't really happen that often.
Doesn't happen? Well, you do have people that are big fans. Like, there are some people like, oh my God, Andrew Wilson, you're on the radio, you're on podcasts, so you're not nobody. You got a lot of followers. Do you have, okay, I guess. I don't know. You have a good following, you know what I mean? And there are people, even Jay said, you have people that are like fans of you. Would you say, do you have anyone that you would fangirl about? Like if you saw them, would you be like, oh my God, it's this person? Or
Ryan Gosling. I have a man crush on that guy, like hard.
What's up with the other dudes and Ryan? Like,
I don't know.
Ryan Gosling?
I don't know. He's so cool.
Okay.
Is
Ryan Gosling?
He doesn't do it for me.
Is Ryan Gosling the one?
Ryan Reynolds, though. Woo.
No, not Ryan Reynolds.
Who does Deadpool?
No. Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Gosling's the one that's in Barbie with Margot Robbie. Barbie movie. Drive.
Blade Runner.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Is he the one?
He's Canadian too.
What's that love movie? The
Notebook.
Yeah.
He's that.
Never seen it.
Okay. No, I know the clips from it, but no, I meant like tattoo artist wise, but
sorry, I just went for it.
Ryan Reynolds, I see you.
Ryan Gosling, actually.
I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know. I think it was probably about 8 years ago. I was in Calgary. I was on my honeymoon because we had gone to Banff, and I was like, you know what? I want to see James Tex's shop because I had been following him for like ever since I started tattooing. Like him and like David Tevenall and Jeff Gogwe, like those guys were like my idols back then.
They're huge.
So we went to the shop and I called and I was like, is there anybody that has time to like do a walk-in or whatever? So, because me and my wife wanted to get like my boutonniere tattooed, like a matching one. So it was cool. It was like a little thistle type thing. And he comes out and he's like, yeah, I got time. And I was like, oh, fuck, that's sick. And I kind of was like, oh, shit, like a little nervous. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to the ATM. I'll come back in like 2 hours when you're ready. And like I pulled out like fucking like $800 for like a little tattoo. I'm like, I don't know how much this guy charges. So he like outlines it, the whole thing on my foot. Doesn't even like wipe it once, like so fast. Like doesn't even hurt that much. Like he finished it in like 45 minutes. Barely could even have a conversation with him. He's like, yeah, it'd be like $120. And I'm like, okay. Like, I'm like, here's 5. Like I don't know what to say, but like I got to show him like some of my Instagram stuff and like when I started doing portraits and stuff. And Mike Kenny's a good friend with him. And we went to the Kelowna show. And I went to go see Mike Kenny while he was getting tattooed by him. And James texted like, oh, I remember you. How's your foot doing? And I was like, sick. I'll be right back. Go to the washroom.
No, it is. It's exciting though when
It's
like
cool,
somebody,
yeah.
even just like obviously a really good, well-known tattoo artist, almost like is like, oh, I know of you, and you're like,
Yeah, it's a
fucking
great
serious?
feeling. It's
yeah,
a great
it is.
feeling.
You're like, I fucking made it. You know what I mean? I've been working so fucking hard for this.
Haven't had it happen yet.
Nothing like that.
You'll get
That
there.
sucks. You will. Obviously, we don't go to fucking shows. It's your second show.
You have to. Just keep
I've only
pushing
done
it.
2.
Oh, just keep going.
Yeah, in the last year. Yeah,
shows,
yeah.
and you get to meet a lot of really cool people that you pretty much only see at conventions.
That's true.
Actually,
That's true.
I had a moment this weekend. I was at Nick's, and it's not even like a style that I do, or I obviously respect the style a lot. But Corey Ferguson.
Yeah. I know him
and
too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everybody knows Corey Ferguson, and so I was at his booth looking at his stuff. I was like, oh, Corey Ferguson, and then I was off Sunday because I had finished my tattoos on the back that I was working on really fast. I had time walking by, saw his stuff, was like, oh. And then he kind of looked up and was like chatting away. And then he was like, oh, why do I recognize you? And then I was like, oh, I'm down here. And then he was like, oh, he recognized me. And he was like, oh, I've seen you, whatever. And then he said he really liked my handle. And he was, he was like, oh, I've seen you at the Winnipeg show all the time or whatever. And then I was like, you recognize my handle?
Oh, there you go.
Oh, you like it? Oh, okay. I'll keep it then. But it was exciting. I was like super stoked, and and then I got a little nervous. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh yeah, no, yeah. Oh. And then I was nervous. Before, if he didn't know who I was, I would have just talked to him. But now he was like, oh. And I was like, oh fuck, I feel a little sweaty. Do you want to come on the podcast? I have to go. You know what I mean? And he said yes. And
He's
I was
gonna
like,
come on the
I don't know
podcast?
what to say. Yeah, he said he would. Good. So I'll reach out to him when I get the balls. But yeah, I was excited.
Does he follow you?
No, probably not.
Oh.
He's probably going to watch the podcast, though, and he'll see.
I'll
say
tag
that.
him.
Yeah, tag him.
Yeah, I will. I'm like, come on the podcast, Corey. Come on. You would. Yeah, but I did a mini fangirl. And there's lots of people that especially if they recognize me. I didn't realize Oni O'Leary was a chick. She doesn't post pictures of herself. Mm-hmm. And so once I was in Montreal years ago, saw her booth, walked by, and was like, oh my God, Oni O'Leary. And then I looked at the dude that was sitting at the front. I'm like blind, I don't know. And she was actually tattooing behind, but I was just, oh, let me see what's in front of me. And I was like, oh, are you Oni? And she was like, oh, it's me. And I was like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. I'm so fucking, why am I like this? I don't know. But I was just running because you're well known. People will do that to you. Be excited to be like, oh my God, fucking Andrew Wilson.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Not that I've noticed or.
No?
Maybe.
Oh, you would, I'm sure.
Yeah. Maybe.
You're good and you have a lot of following.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
No problem.
There's a lot of people who I see that follow you that I know.
Yeah?
So, yeah. A couple of my clients' siblings go to you too.
Who?
Well, I don't know.
And
their name.
you're going to him like what?
I wouldn't know their names
December?
either.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yes, I have an appointment with him in December 5th.
Yeah, what do you get? What do you
Buddy
get?
the Elf.
Oh yeah, Buddy the Elf. That's the best, dude. You have the
You got a
funnest
lot of
thing.
time. That might change.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Are you going to change your mind?
No, I wanted it for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, I don't change my mind.
Good.
I
Because a lot of
literally-
people do when they have to wait like 6 months. Then
No. I wait
like
all-
2 days before, they're like, I changed my mind. I'm like, this is why I do the drawings and day of.
I have.
Yeah.
Stop looking at me, Swan.
What?
Billy
Oh,
Madison. It
I thought
says
you
stop
were- I
looking
thought
at
you
me,
were saying-
Swan.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought
I
you were
have
saying it to
Shrek.
him.
It says do the roar. I got
Yeah.
Edna Mode. I have Austin Powers.
You got a lot of fun ones.
Yeah, I do.
Do you have you're pretty covered by the looks of it?
Yeah, my legs are covered.
And your arms.
And I'm starting my back now.
What do you hit by who?
Brownless.
And what are you getting?
He did a traditional toucan on my back, like the centerpiece.
Cool.
So we're going to do like an alligator above it. And like, I'm half Egyptian. So we're going to do like a pyramid scene, like all traditional stuff at the bottom. I don't really know what to do on the sides, but we're going to just figure it out as we go.
That's cool.
Yeah. But that's really like the only spot.
Very tattoo artist of you to be like, I don't know, you can fill it up later.
We'll figure
You
it
know
out.
what I mean?
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Tattoo artists are so careless for some reason.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm lasering.
Yeah. The mistakes on your back.
Yeah.
What's on your back?
Just some white crochet.
Roses, of course, because everybody has roses on their shoulder. A hummingbird that got jacked up because the guy told me to hold my breath when he was doing the line work because it was messing up his head. Yeah. So that was good. And then it says I was 23 and it was free on my back, basically. It says perfectly imperfect.
You got to keep that one.
In like big black.
It's huge.
No, it's huge.
Huge.
Can you see it? And then
It's
so
her
big
whole back.
and dark.
Yeah, I know.
and it starts all the way.
I think
yeah,
like
you might
the
wanna do
first
something about
interactions you ever met, like Kirsten and I ever
Yeah.
had. She sent me a message. She was like, "I want to get tattooed by you. Would you do your back?" But I have stuff on it. I was like, "Just send me a picture." Yeah, I would do it. I do cover ups, but yeah, send me a picture. Send it to me. And I was like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna need to laser that." Jesus, there's so much and it's dark.
Yeah.
Where are you going to laser it?
I go to my lip lady, so I go to Beauty Foundations clinic, and then she injects me with lidocaine, so I don't feel shit. Yeah,
That would be awesome.
yeah.
wish I
I'm
could do
going
this
back
clients.
again in the fall because, like, obviously I'm in the sun, so
That's fair.
I'm not avoiding it. I'm not getting pale again, not like you.
Oh,
There it is.
well, shots fired for no goddamn reason. But I have a would you rather. I'm gonna blast at you.
Okay.
Okay. So, would you rather, Chris and I came up with this on the car ride here.
Oh, yeah.
So, would you rather every client you have to, is a good client and everything, it's a good experience, but you have to kiss them on the lips after every tattoo that
Every
you give
single-
them,
every single
time.
client?
Every
yeah,
single one.
mwah, right on the mouth.
Okay.
Or every tattoo client you have is sobbing and trauma dumping on you. Like they're just like crying and, they're just, like I said, trauma dumping on you and they're just like, my life is so over, my ex-wife fucking. Or
I
you have
feel
to
like
kiss them
I
on the
already
mouth.
do that, so I'll just stick with the trauma
That's
dumping.
fair. There is a lot of people. That's not that even.
Plus, I'm married, so that's a trick question, right?
I know I said that. I was like, he's going to have to opt to
Nice
sing the other.
try.
if he's married. I gotcha, bitch. She did hire me. No, I'm just kidding. I've never met her. Would you say your wife does?
She's in film and television.
Yeah, that's the coolest. That'd be a fun job to come home and talk
She
about.
is pretty cool, yeah. She comes to the office like a couple days a week to get out of the house and get away from my crazy cats.
She works at home?
She works at home. Yeah.
Okay, cool. How many cats you got?
We got 2.
Okay, that's a reasonable amount. Okay, I have another one then because that one is so easy.
Wait. This is yesterday. Look at it.
Oh, showing cat stuff.
Oh my god. Gotcha.
Gotcha, bitch.
I literally put that as an Instagram caption on my personal page.
What? Showing you my pussy?
No, the I did a boudoir shoot with my cat.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Look,
I thought I was bad.
they're big too.
your
That
cats?
called my cat.
You guys
fat.
showing off your pussies to each other?
You wouldn't get it. You don't have cats.
I do like cats.
I just
though.
sometimes I like picking them up and just going like this.
Yeah, me and
It's like they never really like cuddle, so I just like make them
oh
like
mine
force
do.
cuddle.
Mine do. But Rob would pick them up and have air cat battles and just
so
I'm just
weird.
like you know,
Poor cat. You get it.
you understand.
you don't
you
get it.
mash your cats together like they're action figures. Fucking cat people.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, it's okay.
It's true. It's
I'm not even.
Okay, so next, would you rather then, because that one was just a given. This one is a weird one. Would you rather tattoo every day in a room where they're cutting onions, like an industrial amount of onions, or would you rather tattoo in a public bathroom type of setting where there's just constantly a poop smell?
Is there like a kill yourself option?
There is a kill yourself. You can die. You can opt to dying, or you can tattoo in a poopy smell, or you can tattoo with cutting onions.
I'd kill myself, I think.
Either is awful.
Yeah,
Either is
yeah.
just horrendous the whole time. Either you smell like a septic tank, or you're
Or
crying.
you're just crying all the time.
Can you wear nose
Well,
plugs?
my tattoos would
No,
suck because I
can't.
can't see what I'm doing.
Yeah,
And you have
fair.
to. Ew, when people are like,
Or they're
"Yo,
better
just
at
breathe through your mouth," I'm like, "No."
But it smells like a
I would
porta
rather
potty.
smell it because I can't put it. I just can't fathom putting it in my mouth. Just I can't. I can't. I don't. I'd rather. I have to like suffocate myself with my own clothes. Anyways, poo poo bathroom.
Death is my choice.
Death.
Yeah. No, but if I had to choose between the two, it would probably be the onions.
But then you can't see.
Goggles. Goggles.
Well, it's better than waking up with pink eye every day or whatever.
Yeah.
Would you?
Goggles.
Okay, is that how pink eye is made?
I don't know.
Poo
People
particles.
farting in your eyes and stuff, I guess. Is that what
Farting
happens?
in your eyes.
Yeah, isn't that how it
I've
happens?
never gotten fart in the eye, but I've had pink.
Look it up on Kijiji. I'm sure you'll find someone to do it.
Kijiji.
So it brought that full circle.
Yeah, literally. Have you switched styles a lot?
Not really. Like when I first started the first like 5 years of tattooing, I was still doing like some color stuff here and there. And I started drawing like different flash and like getting really inspired by like kind of like sad traditional flash, you know what I mean? And I just like there was like a feeling to it that I was trying to get to.
Still got that teenage angst.
I don't know what it was, but and then I just started doing like just the straight black work where I'm like, I wonder if I can like really play with contrast. And since I had like so much experience with doing like just portrait drawing before I was tattooing, I'm like, I'm just gonna try and do realism with just black. And it was fun for a bit, but then it started just to like I couldn't change it up as much anymore. Like I had done everything I could do with it. I exhausted it, but then I started like adding like the stipple shading and stuff with the black, and then now I'm kind of just doing like full stylized realism. But yeah, I switch it up every now and then, but not like too often.
But it's your favorite.
It's my favorite.
It's your favorite. Is blacking out arms something you really enjoy doing?
I do.
You
I
do?
I do, yeah.
Just saturating is really sad.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's just like it's really fun to like see somebody
In pain.
Yeah.
No, just like, you know, they have like a sleeve and then all of a sudden it's like, it's clean. So they get rid of like all the tattoos that they hated at once.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's just clean.
It is clean.
And it goes with everything you wear, no matter what color you wear.
It's bold.
That's fair.
I know.
It's
I'm
bold.
not going to do anything over it. I'm probably
No?
going to do my other arm too. I just think it looks cool. It looks
It
clean.
does look. Clean is a nice
Yeah.
way to put it,
Like,
especially
I've-
if you're used to like the busyness of like whatever you got, patchwork stuff. It is
I
satisfying.
feel that.
You gonna block your arm out?
No. No. Well, no.
You have to think
No,
about that.
well,
That's not the goal.
Fair.
Right now.
Okay. You know where I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be awful. How much do you get done in a sitting? Like for
Depends on
blocking?
the arm. Like, I have some people who can sit for like longer than I can tattoo for. Like the one girl, Victoria, I did her neck like the jawline all the way around. It was like 7.5 hours, and I'm like, okay, we'll like get to the sides or whatever, and like I'm like, we can be done after that. She's like, no, keep going. Like her like makeup's like dripping and whatever,
Oh
and
my
I'm like,
God.
are you sure? She's like, yeah, just fucking finish it. And I was like,
I'm
okay.
intimidated by her, and I've never met her.
yeah, she's a very, very tough sitter.
Yeah.
Very tough sitter.
I'm always wildly impressed. Like, I had a guy do a full back piece in 2 days. I had a 35 mag, and I had this method where I'd block in the big gradient on the bare leg or something, and then I would numb it, just that little spot, and then I would do the texture of hair
Right.
over top, and I would kind of use that whole method to do the whole thing. But he wasn't a tiny dude, so it's probably like this big, you know what I mean? 2 days, and he sat like a rock, and I'm like wicked, like wildly impressed by people that are like savage. I
No,
did
because
a
there's no way I could sit like that. There's
no, I
no
know.
way. No.
I don't know. Tattooers are such
Maybe because
pussies.
like I know how it works, and like you know, like when Brownless is doing my back, like I sat horribly for it. It's like this big. It's not even that big.
traditional,
But I did not expect it to feel how it did. Yeah. And like every time he touched my skin, I was like that. I felt like the worst client ever. But like I was picturing, you know, like because your back's tight. And the knee, it's just like digging in, and that's all I can picture is like what I do to people, and I'm like, this fucking sucks. It makes it worse when you're,
Knowing?
especially when you're not like super excited about it.
Oh, that was.
You know when you first started getting tattooed, and you're like, it doesn't hurt because you're like so stoked to be
Yes.
cool.
Yeah.
yes.
And now it's just like, oh, my appointment's coming up. Like, fuck. Like,
Yeah, that was like the last time I sat on my ribs with Derek. I tapped out after 2 hours. Sorry, Derek. But
Did you?
oh my god,
Yeah,
man!
but
I
that's
got to
not
the
easy.
point where he was touching me, and I was like flinching, and I was gonna cry, and he was like trying to distract me with conversation.
It's not
And I'm
easy.
like, now's not the time. I just put on the podcast. I was trying to listen to it. I wanted to cry, and then I got to the point where I was like, I can't do this. It was when we were doing the color.
Oh, on your ribs.
Yeah,
Oh.
and it's a big fucking tattoo.
I know,
Yeah.
but I guess it also depends on the day, depends on who's tattooing
And
you.
then the next day,
It
I was like to him,
sucks.
I was like, sorry, I was a little bitch. He goes, yeah.
Yeah, but do you feel like it's easier to be like a little bitch with somebody you know that's tattooing you
No,
versus somebody
because-
you don't know?
you
No,
can't
I
be- you
feel
can't
bad
be a
because
little
it's a day
bitch.
off
Yeah.
too.
can't.
No, I can't because I don't hear the end of it, and it's a day off that he sacrificed.
True.
That's
Okay,
true.
that makes it worse.
Yeah.
On that note, Kirst is a pussy.
Shut the fuck up.
Anyways, thank you for driving out from Newmarket.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks for driving in from Newmarket to
for
come
having
pop
me.
in. And yeah, oh my God, I'm excited to have you on
it's a
again.
cool show you guys are doing. I'm very excited to see like the other guests that you guys have on.
Me too. It's
thanks.
actually
Because
been
as soon
really
as you
fun.
posted about it, I'm like local podcasts. I'm like sick. I'm gonna follow these guys. I'm like this
Yeah.
is. I was watching all the other episodes and I'm like it's funny.
It's
really
fun.
cool.
I'm
It's
taking
fun.
credit for
Yeah.
this then.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, I appreciate it. I've been really excited to do it and meet other. I've been meeting a lot of artists and being
This
able
is a
to.
good way to do it too.
It's so exciting. And then I'm going to do games and everything in the future. But anyways, I just want to say thank you for coming on. Thank you for driving all the way out here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, and we look forward to having you on in the future. We're going to do
Sure.
games and everything next time. We have I have things that I want to do, which are going to be like less boring than just asking you questions. But yeah, and then we also can have another guest on at the same time. So if you want to bring the guy you work with,
Sure.
make him come out and talk
Sure.
to us.
Okay. Okay.
Sure. Okay. Sure. And then you should do a guest spot sometime if
Yeah.
you felt like it.
I do feel like it. I will. I will.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Come work in the front building with us.
Okay.
Or wait, the back building.
Back building. Yeah.
Back building. Gang, gang.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank
it was nice
you.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.